For years, the story of Zimbabwe was a story of decline. A country, once known as the breadbasket of southern Africa, found itself facing droughts, economic instability, sanctions, shortages, and a long period of hardship. Industry struggled, agriculture suffered, infrastructure deteriorated, and millions of Zimbabweans watched as a country that once seemed full of promise fought to find its way forward. But Zimbabwe was never empty of potential. Far beneath its soil were resources that the rest of the world desperately wanted. Gold, chrome, platinum, diamonds, and now, lithium. Welcome to African Wealth Files, where we don't chase views, we earn trust. Zimbabwe sits at the heart of southern Africa, surrounded by countries that depend on regional trade. And despite its difficult years, the country retained something extremely valuable: natural wealth. Zimbabwe has some of the world's important deposits of minerals used in modern industry. Gold supports a major mining sector. Chrome feeds the global steel industry. Platinum remains strategically important for manufacturing and technology. Diamonds continue to attract international attention. But perhaps the most exciting development is lithium. As the world races toward electric vehicles, battery storage, and renewable energy, demand for lithium has exploded, and Zimbabwe has become one of Africa's major lithium producers. International companies have invested in Zimbabwe's lithium industry, while the government has pushed for greater local processing, rather than simply exporting raw minerals. That could be a major turning point. Because the real opportunity isn't simply digging minerals out of the ground, it's building industries around them, processing, manufacturing, transportation, jobs, infrastructure, and eventually, a stronger economy. And this is where Zimbabwe's story becomes especially interesting. The country isn't relying on minerals alone. Agriculture is trying to recover. Roads and infrastructure are being developed. Energy remains a major priority, and new regional transport connections could make it easier to move Zimbabwean products toward major markets. A country that spent years fighting to survive is now trying to rebuild. But is this really the beginning of Zimbabwe's comeback? Or is it simply another moment of hope that could disappear? To understand where Zimbabwe is going, we first need to understand what is happening beneath the ground, because one mineral in particular could become one of the biggest pieces of Zimbabwe's economic future: lithium. For decades, Zimbabwe's mineral wealth was dominated by gold, platinum, chrome, and diamonds. Then, a new mineral began, attracting extraordinary attention: lithium. Often called the critical mineral of the energy transition, lithium is an essential component in many rechargeable batteries used in electric vehicles, energy storage systems, and electronics. And Zimbabwe has become one of Africa's most important lithium-producing countries. Suddenly, the world started looking towards Zimbabwe again. Chinese mining companies moved into the sector. Billions of dollars in investment followed. Mines expanded. Processing facilities began appearing. And Zimbabwe's lithium industry started becoming an important part of the country's economic story. But there was a problem. For years, African countries have often exported raw minerals, while other countries captured much of the value through processing and manufacturing. Zimbabwe wanted to avoid repeating that pattern, so the government introduced restrictions on the export of certain unprocessed lithium ores. The message was clear: don't just take our minerals, process them here. That changes the opportunity completely. Instead of simply exporting rocks, Zimbabwe could develop processing industries. Those industries can create skilled jobs, they can generate tax revenue, they can attract additional investment, and they can create demand for roads, electricity, railways, engineering, logistics, and other businesses. This is why lithium could become more than just another mineral in Zimbabwe's ground. It could become part of a much larger economic transformation. But there's another piece of the puzzle. A mineral is only valuable if you can move it. Zimbabwe is landlocked. That means transportation is critical, and this is where regional railway and trade connections become increasingly important. Better rail links could connect Zimbabwe's mines and industries to ports and markets across southern and eastern Africa. The more efficiently Zimbabwe can move its minerals, the more competitive its industries can become. And that is the bigger vision. Minerals in the ground, processing inside the country, railways connecting industries to markets, and investment creating jobs along the way. But lithium is only one part of Zimbabwe's mineral story. Because beneath Zimbabwe's soil, there is another resource that has been generating wealth for generations: gold. And when we add gold, chrome, platinum, and diamonds to the picture, the scale of Zimbabwe's mineral economy becomes even more remarkable. Maybe the mineral getting the world's attention. But Zimbabwe's comeback story is much bigger. For generations, gold has been one of the country's most important sources of mineral wealth. Across Zimbabwe, gold mining supports thousands of livelihoods and contributes significantly to the country's economy. Then there is chrome, a mineral essential to the production of stainless steel. Zimbabwe possesses some of the world's significant chrome resources, giving the country an important position in the global minerals market. And beneath the Great Dike, Zimbabwe holds enormous deposits of platinum group metals. There are also diamonds, different minerals, different markets, but together they create something powerful. Diversification. Zimbabwe isn't betting its future on one resource, and that matters, because mineral wealth can generate enormous revenue. But a country's real transformation depends on what happens with that revenue. And this brings us to another part of Zimbabwe's comeback: agriculture. Before the economic difficulties of the past decades, Zimbabwe was widely regarded as a major agricultural producer in southern Africa. Its farms supplied food for the country and the region. Today, agriculture remains critical to Zimbabwe's recovery. Farmers are working to increase production. Irrigation and agricultural infrastructure are becoming increasingly important. And when agriculture improves alongside mining, the economic effect can reach far beyond the mines. More production means more transportation, more businesses, more employment, and greater demand for infrastructure. That brings us to perhaps one of the least glamorous but most important parts of the comeback: railways and roads. Zimbabwe cannot fully benefit from its minerals if moving them to international markets is expensive and inefficient. That is why regional transport connections matter. Zimbabwe is looking to strengthen rail and trade links with neighboring countries and wider regional markets, improving the movement of minerals, agricultural products, and manufactured goods. Imagine the bigger picture: a truck carrying agricultural products, a railway carrying chrome, another train transporting lithium products, all moving toward regional trade corridors and international ports. This is how mineral wealth can begin connecting with the wider economy. But there is still one question hanging over Zimbabwe. Can the country turn this new wave of mineral investment, agricultural recovery, and infrastructure development into long-term prosperity for ordinary Zimbabweans? Because having valuable resources is one thing. Building a prosperous nation from them is something else entirely. And that is where Zimbabwe's next chapter begins. Zimbabwe's story is not finished. In fact, the most interesting chapter may be happening right now. The country has enormous mineral wealth: lithium, gold, chrome, platinum, diamonds. It has agricultural land, a strategic position in southern Africa, and a population with the skills and determination to rebuild. But resources alone cannot guarantee prosperity. Zimbabwe's biggest challenge now is turning natural wealth into lasting economic value. That means processing more minerals inside the country, building reliable electricity, improving roads and railways, expanding agriculture, supporting local businesses, and creating jobs that extend beyond the mining sector. Because if Zimbabwe exports minerals, but imports the finished products, a huge part of the potential value leaves with them. The real prize is therefore not simply becoming a bigger mining country. It is becoming a country that builds industries around its resources. And infrastructure will be central to that transformation. Zimbabwe's regional railway connections could help link mines, farms, factories, and businesses to markets beyond its borders. For a landlocked country, that connection is crucial. Better transport can mean lower costs. Lower costs can mean more competitive exports, and more competitive industries can attract even more investment. But there is another ingredient Zimbabwe cannot afford to overlook: its people. A true comeback is not measured only by how much lithium is exported or how much gold is produced. It is measured by whether ordinary families see better opportunities, whether young people can find meaningful work, whether farmers can produce more, whether businesses can grow, and whether economic progress can survive beyond the next commodity boom. Zimbabwe has been through extraordinary difficulties, but it has also shown remarkable resilience. The country that was once celebrated as the breadbasket of Southern Africa is now trying to write a new chapter, one powered by minerals, agriculture, infrastructure, industry, and regional trade. The question is no longer whether Zimbabwe has wealth beneath its soil. It clearly does. The question is, what will Zimbabwe build with it? If the country can turn its mineral wealth into industries, its agriculture into greater productivity, and its infrastructure into stronger regional connections, then Zimbabwe's comeback could become much bigger than a mining story. It could become the story of a nation rebuilding its economic future. Zimbabwe is rising again, but the real victory will be making that rise. For years, Zimbabwe was a country the world associated with economic crisis. Today, a different picture is beginning to emerge. Across the country, mines are expanding, new investment is arriving. Lithium has placed Zimbabwe on the global battery minerals map. Gold continues to generate billions in economic activity. Chrome and platinum remain strategically important, and diamonds continue to form part of the country's mineral wealth. But beneath all these numbers, there is a bigger story: renewal. Zimbabwe is trying to rebuild not just its mining sector, but its economy. Agriculture remains at the heart of that ambition. Infrastructure is being upgraded, regional transport links are being strengthened, and businesses are looking for new opportunities in a country that still has enormous potential. The journey will not be easy. Zimbabwe still faces serious challenges. Economic stability matters, reliable electricity matters, investment confidence matters, and, most importantly, the wealth created by the country's resources must reach beyond the mines. Because Zimbabwe's greatest resource isn't lithium, it isn't gold, it isn't chrome, it isn't even diamonds, it is its people. A young generation of Zimbabweans is entering the economy with new ideas, new skills, and new ambitions. And if the country can combine that human potential with its extraordinary natural resources, the possibilities are enormous. Perhaps Zimbabwe's greatest comeback is not about returning to the past. Perhaps it is about building something new. A Zimbabwe where minerals are processed locally, where agriculture becomes more productive, where railways connect industries to regional markets, where infrastructure supports businesses, and where economic growth creates opportunities for ordinary people. The world once knew Zimbabwe as the breadbasket of Southern Africa. Then came years of hardship. Now, a new chapter is being written. Lithium is part of it. Gold is part of it. Chrome is part of it. Diamonds are part of it. Agriculture is part of it. Infrastructure is part of it. But the final chapter belongs to Zimbabwe itself, because a country can discover wealth beneath the ground, but only its people can turn that wealth into a future. This is Zimbabwe rising again. And perhaps the comeback is only beginning. Thank you for watching African Wealth Files. We don't chase views, we earn trust.